issue because of which we were not audible. And I hope I'm audible now. And if any one of you can just quickly post on the chat that you can hear, then we can proceed with this transformational meditation class on Krodha. Krodha or anger. Krodha is the Sanskrit word for anger, and I would say it's one of the most misunderstood of all human emotions. A lot of people say that it's a very negative emotion, and of course some people say that yes, sometimes it can be negative, sometimes it can be positive. So it helps to understand and go a little deeper into what growth or anger is, and how you can, in modern language we talk about anger management. I would rather prefer to use the term anger transmutation. Transmutation is converting something from one form into another. And if we can convert our anger into something which is more meaningful, something which will align to the purpose of what we want and what we wish to achieve, then it will add value to our lives. And we can see in this presentation, which I'm going to share first. And after that, we will go into a guided meditation. And after that, we'll also have some sharing and question answers. So thank you very much for being here and tuning in to this class, this transformational meditation class from Quantum Life University. So we will first have the presentation. So once again, welcome friends, welcome to QLU's Transformation Meditational class on Krodha or anger. So friends, before I proceed, I wish to express my deepest gratitude to my mentors and Quantum Life University QLU founders, Dr. Newton and Dr. Lakshmi, with whom I've had a journey of more than 25 years and aligning to this grand vision of QLU and helping to be a part of its manifestation. So, in Vedic wisdom, there is something called as Arishad Vargas, or these are considered as the 6 enemies of humanity, the 6 enemies which prevent human beings from realizing their true self, the true nature of their self, which is the pure soul consciousness. And these are Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, and Matsarya. Kama or lust, Krodha or anger, Lobha, which is greed, and Moha or delusion, Mada, pride, and Matsarya, which is jealousy. So these are the 6 fundamental emotions which, when expressed in their negative aspects. Now, why do I say that when we express them in their negative aspects? Because they are all very fundamental and basic human emotions. There must be some reason why they are there in the first place. They are there because they help you to understand certain things about yourselves, about the kind of baggage that you have brought into this life, about the kind of beliefs which are limiting that you have in your subconscious, about the work that you need to do in order to become a better person. So these are, I can say, indicators of your current state of being, and they are necessary. But the problem is when we start operating completely and we allow these emotions to drive us rather than we use them as indicators and that's it, and use these indications to help improve our lives, then they become negative, and then we suffer a lot because of that. And out of these, I've taken up this anger or Krodha, which is a very wonderful energy. It is actually not negative by itself, as we can see. So I'll present something which I call the seven sutras of anger. There are seven statements of truth about anger, or rather, some of the understandings that we can have, and it is good even if we have thought differently about these things. It's good to now look at anger from a different perspective, from the perspective of these seven sutras. So let's look at these seven sutras of anger. The first is that anger is a natural emotion. So, friends, don't be fall into some kind of guilt if you get angry once in a while, or if you experience a lot of anger inside of you. It's a perfectly natural emotion. What we are going to try and find out and understand is how to deal with it, and what you should do when you get this anger, when you feel this anger within you. What should you do? That's the essence of this class. So, the first is anger is a natural emotion, and everyone has experienced anger at some time or the other in their lives, and everyone has it to some extent or the other. Now, every emotion is energy in motion. It is that which gives energy for our thoughts to manifest in the physical dimension in which we are incarnated. Because although our essence is pure soul consciousness, we have taken these incarnations in which we take on physical form. And in the physical form, it's our emotions which is the link between our thoughts and the manifestation in physical matter. That's why we call it as energy in motion. As you can know, energy is convertible into matter, and that came up through Albert Einstein's very famous equation E equals mc square, where he says energy and matter are interchangeable. So here we have thought, and from thought there is energy in the form of the emotions, and from these emotions and the energy that comes from them, this energy goes out and manifests into physical matter in the physical plane, or rather it stimulates the manifestation in the physical plane. So that's the link, the thought, the emotion, and then the physical manifestation. And that's why all emotions are important. And here we're not talking about or differentiating them into negative emotions and positive emotions. We're just looking at emotions as energy in motion. The second sutra is that anger is neither good nor bad. By itself, anger is neither good nor bad. It's how you express anger, what you do with the anger that you feel within you. That is what makes it. And again, I won't like to use the word good or bad, whether it limits your expression of what you wish to become, or it enhances your expression of what you wish to become. If it enhances your expression, then you can term it as something positive. And if it is something which limits you, which makes you to become less than what you wish to become, then it is a limiting aspect. So just as a knife is not good or bad by itself, the manner of expression of anger can either be positive or negative. In the hands of a surgeon, a knife can be used to save lives, and in the hands of one with a negative intent, it can even be used to kill somebody. So it's exactly the same thing with anger. Anger is like a knife. You can use it positively or you can also use it negatively. Then we have the third sutra. Anger is, of all the emotions that we experience, it is one of the most powerful and intense emotions. If you list out some of the other emotions, happiness or sadness or envy, jealousy, greed, any of these other emotions, none of them are experienced with the same level of intensity that you experience anger. And that's what makes it so powerful. Powerful both in the positive impact of anger as well as positive as well as the negative impact of the anger. It can have both the positive impact as well as negative impact, and how you choose to use it is in your hands. And that's why you need to know what needs to be done and what practices you need to follow in order to help make your anger into an ally instead of your enemy. The Arishad Vargas are considered the enemies which prevent us from realizing the soul. But when we transform these enemies into your friends, then you become so much more powerful because you can actually achieve what you want. In fact, there is a saying that if an enemy becomes a friend, he is equal to 100 friends, because there is someone who has been opposing you all the time and you've made this person into your friend. And that's exactly what we need to do with our emotions, with these so-called negative emotions. We need to make them into our friends, and then we need to transmute that powerful energy and use it for our own good. And we'll see how that can be done specifically in the case of anger as we go along in this presentation and the guided meditation and the sharing that we are going to do. So if you look at what exactly anger is, what is it trying to show you? What exactly is anger trying to show you? Anger shows you what you don't like. When do you get angry? You get angry when something happens which you don't like. Something happens in a way that you don't like, or there is someone whom you dislike, and that person has appeared in front of you, and then you get angry because it's all about the dislike. If you don't like something and that happens, or if you don't like someone and that person becomes present in front of you, then you get angry. And that is clear that anger shows your dislike or displeasure. It's an indication of your dislike or displeasure. But when you look deeper, we need to understand that whatever happens in the outside world is a reflection of our inner thoughts and beliefs. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. As within, so without. The way you think inside, that becomes your external reality. The inner reality of your thoughts becomes the outer reality of your experiences, because your experiences follow your thoughts and beliefs. And what are beliefs? Beliefs are nothing but thoughts that you have been thinking repeatedly over and over again until they become so much a part of you that they are like constant thoughts, the thoughts where you don't even become aware that you're thinking those thoughts, but undercurrent, those thoughts are always there. But every thought creates a certain experience, and those thoughts are creating these experiences. So, anger is a reflection of what we dislike within ourselves. So, understand that it's not about external experiences, it's not about other people, it's about what is within you. What you don't like within yourself is exactly what you find in your life experiences. And that again makes you angry. So, what is the purpose of this anger? What is the feeling of anger that you get when you see something or experience something which you don't like? It is pointing to the fact that there is something within you which you have not accepted about yourself. You have not owned it, so to speak. So, what's happening is if you allow that to continue, then that anger will start owning you. And that's when all the negative impacts of anger begin to manifest in your life. But as long as you understand that there is something within you which is not acknowledged by you, which is not accepted by you, which you have not dealt with, that is getting reflected outside in the form of the anger. So understand that the outer, the anger that you experience is the reflection of something within you that you have not acknowledged or you have not bothered to look into or you are not accepting at some level. Now, when you go still deeper, you understand that at the root of anger, there is an unmet need. This need could be anything and it's different for different people. But you go deeper and deeper, you will find something which are called your core issues. And this core issue is what is responsible for your anger. For some other person, that core issue could be different, but it's responsible for that person's anger. So, this core issue is invariably some need which is unmet. For example, you have someone, a child, who has always been suppressed by elders and teachers and everyone and not allowed to express what he or she has within her own, his or her ideas or what they want to do or what they wish to do. Then there is that need to be heard. Now, when this child grows up, this child will have this anger because of this unmet need of not being heard at all. And that goes and starts finding expression. And it gets triggered at different times when you see a similar situation, even if it's not happening to you. If that is your issue of not having been heard, then even if you see someone is not paying attention to someone else, you will get triggered and you'll get angry, although it's not about you at that time. What's happening is not about you, but the issue is related to you. And that's the reason you get triggered, because deep within you, your issue is exactly the same as what you're observing happening right in front of your eyes. So that becomes the trigger. And when you find encounter, we all encounter so many triggers to our anger in different forms and in our life experiences. And these triggers bring up this anger. And the more it happens, the more intense our anger becomes. And that's the crux of it is that the unmet need within yourself is what is actually the root or the main cause, the root cause of this anger. So, the last sutra, friends, and this may sound very different from what most of us have heard about anger. Anger empowers us. It actually holds the key to bringing positive change in life. Now, this is something that I wish that you all ponder for a moment and just look at it and see whether it really goes with the beliefs that you have about anger at this point of time. And are you willing to look at anger from a different perspective? Can you look at how anger can actually empower us? Unless you feel first that anger about something which is not the way you wish it to be. This anger propels and increases the intensity of you moving in the direction of that change which you wish to make. So, in that sense, it is exactly in this sense that anger becomes a very powerful tool for the change that you wish to make in your life. So, friends, we will look at how anger can be made into a very powerful tool for transmutation of the negative aspects and the inner baggage that you have, and shifting it into the direction of what you actually wish to manifest in your life. So we have now, there are 7 steps which I'm showing in this presentation. And these 7 steps will help you to properly channelize the power of anger. The 7 steps to properly channelize the power of your anger. The first step is to recognize the trigger. First, you need to recognize what are the triggers. You, let's say you're going around doing your works, whatever you're doing, you're fine, you're in a calm situation, you're in a nice place, so to speak, about your emotions and everything. And then there's something that happens, and then you become angry. Sometimes you don't notice what actually happened, but you suddenly find that you're angry. First thing is to become aware, to notice when you've actually become angry. Because sometimes this anger becomes so much a part of us that we fail to recognize those ups and downs. We fail to recognize the fact that we have been fine up to a certain point of time without any anger, and after that, suddenly we became angry. So, develop your awareness to the extent where you can know what is it that triggered that anger. So, first point is to recognize the trigger. The second is, when you find that you are now angry and there was a trigger, first is recognize the trigger and remove yourself from that situation. Now, first, I'm talking about how to deal with anger as it comes, and then we are also going to talk about the long term anger that is there within yourself and how to deal with that too. But I'm talking about the situational anger that keeps coming, because that is what blows up into something much bigger, and then it makes you to go into that different stage where it turns out to become destructive later on. So remove yourself from that situation or that place or that interaction. And this, friends, requires a lot of awareness, because we are conditioned that when we get into that mode, we want to confront, we want to fight, we want to prove, we want to say that this is how it is and this is what needs to be done. And we have this tendency that we always like to blame others for our situations. So when at the back of your mind you always have this, that whatever is happening is your own creation, then it helps you when you say that, yes, I created this situation, so now let me, and I'm not liking this. Therefore, I just want to step out of it. Like, let's say there is a flame burning and accidentally you put your hand into it and it starts burning, would you still continue to keep putting your hand inside the fire? You won't, because it's hurting you. But anger is something where, although you're hurting, it's paining, and you're suffering, but still we want to continue because we want to put that blame onto the other persons. And we want to blame situations, we want to blame circumstances, we want to blame other people for the anger that we are experiencing. So, first, recognize the trigger, and second, remove yourself from that situation with your awareness. And here, constantly telling yourself that here I am the creator. I am creating the situation and I'm not liking this. Like I put my hand into the fire and I'm not enjoying this experience. Therefore, I wish to withdraw my hand from the fire. So remove yourself from that situation. And after that, shift your awareness to the body. Don't go into any thought process. Just stop all thoughts and just notice what's happening in your body. How's your body feeling? How's your heartbeat like? How's you can feel sometimes the heat in your body when you get angry. You can sense that my body is feeling warmer. Something like the blood is flowing faster. My breathing is going very rapidly, shallow breathing, fast breathing, labored breathing. And it's like I'm really putting in a lot of effort to just be there, and my body is trembling. Just become completely aware, shift your awareness to the body and notice what kind of changes are happening in your body. The moment you shift your awareness to the body, you will find that this will start subsiding, because when you give attention to something, then your energy flows to that place. So now your energy is shifting into the body, and your body is like your diagnostics. It is telling you what is going wrong. And the moment you become aware of the diagnostics, then automatically it begins to come back into balance. It brings its, because the drive towards self correction, the drive to move towards balance is inbuilt within each one of us. But we need to allow it to happen. When we are completely carried away because of our thoughts and our mind, we don't allow this natural balancing to occur. So bring your focus and awareness back to your body. Just bring it back to the body. And when that happens, notice all the kind of changes that are happening within the body. Like, for instance, if you become aware that you're breathing very fast, automatically your breathing will start to slow down. It starts to begin to go slower and slower, and everything starts becoming more calm. You find your blood circulation starts becoming less. Your face, which has become very red with anger, will then slowly start regaining its original normal color and tone. Everything will start to normalize. But that will happen when you shift your awareness to your body. Now, this I have found to be a very wonderful tool while working on myself, because I am a person who I can undoubtedly say that I have a terrible anger. I have lots of anger. I'm not a saint who's like no anger all the time. But the thing about me is I'm aware of my anger, and I know that I know when I'm angry, and I know that the steps, these are the steps I must take in order to become aware of where this anger is coming from. And doing these steps has helped me time and again to come back into a state of balance and understand and go to the root of where this anger is coming from. And through that, bring about this positive transformation in my own life. And I've used these processes to help deal with my clients when I do sessions for them as well, when they come for one-to-one therapy sessions. So, friends, the third point is shift your awareness to your body. So again, we'll come back to these three steps because it's very important. We are talking about practical tools, practical steps, how to transform your anger, to transmute your anger into something positive. First, recognize the trigger, what made you angry at this point of time. The second, remove yourself from that situation. And that means some maybe telling someone that I don't want to talk any further on this, or I just don't want to engage anymore in this discussion, or whatever it is. In a way that is, we will also come to what is the right way of expression and what is something which is appropriate, which is not appropriate, something which can help you to go into a more positive state, and there are other ways which will make you go down. So we always choose the ways which are the very balanced and simple ways to deal with the anger at that point of time. So second, like I said, is remove yourself from that situation. And the third is shift your awareness to the body completely. Stop all thoughts, because the more you shift your awareness to the body, the more your thoughts will come down to zero. And that it's like a self positive feedback loop where the more positivity you put into it, the more positive it becomes, and it goes higher and higher. The level of positivity keeps increasing, and that happens when you start becoming aware of the body. Initially, you have 100% thoughts, no awareness of body. Then you have 1% awareness of the body. Your thoughts become suddenly from 99%, they start going down drastically, and your body awareness starts increasing. And then you'll find you're in your body awareness, and your thoughts completely go down. And that's when the calmness has already started coming into you. It is, you have started returning to this state of calmness. And from there, you go to the next step, and that is, now you focus your awareness onto the breath. And I've heard many times tips, people saying that, okay, when you are very angry, you just start breathing. You take, 3 deep breaths and or 10 breaths, or you just start breathing. And that is something I was never able to do, because I'm not able to make that huge jump to straight away come into breath awareness from that state of extreme anger in just that few seconds. And I found that doing these 4 steps of first recognizing the trigger, removing myself from the situation, shifting to the body awareness, and then I find that I'm in a state where I'm now ready to start observing my breath. Because going straight away into the breath is not happening, because the thoughts have still not gone down, and it's continuously, I'm not able to develop that awareness of breath. So this is really helping, because we are taking it step by step. So it's like saying that if I want to jump from 0 step to the 4th step in one jump, it's difficult. But if I want to take them one step at a time, it becomes easy. And in this way, we are slowly shifting our awareness from that state and of that intense anger emotional state to the state where we first, with awareness, we say, we make a choice. We first say, okay, this is the point at which I started getting angry. So that's the first level where you bringing in that sense of awareness into yourself. Then you're saying that I'm just now not going to be in this place, in this energy, which further is going to make me more and more angry. So I'm going to remove myself from this situation. Then you start focusing on your body completely, shifting your awareness from all externals straight away into your body. And your body is a wonderful place to practice awareness, because there is so many things that are happening in your body all the time, and you can sense that at every point, every moment. And from there, you shift into the awareness of the breath, by which time you become even more calm and even more self aware. And then we go into the actual deeper aspect, which is now sometimes up to that point, you're feeling much better and you might leave it at that. So, friends, if you stop it at that, you would have managed the anger of that situation, but you won't have actually gone to the root cause of that anger. So you need to go further. You don't need to say that, okay, now I'm feeling fine. I don't have this anger anymore. Therefore, I will just get back to my work and just keep doing whatever I'm doing. So then again, after 1 hour, you'll have another situation. Again, you'll feel angry and you will do step one, two, three, four. You'll feel better. But how do you go to the root cause? You have to address to the root cause of why this is happening again and again. Why am I getting angry? Why is this anger always coming up? And that's where you must understand that there is this unmet need within you, which is causing this anger, which is getting triggered every other time whenever these situations happen, and then that anger is coming up within you. So you need to recognize and what exactly happens before, which is the deeper causes of getting angry, is there is something which you feel is going to hurt you, something by which you feel threatened, something which makes you feel unsafe. These are the things that cause anger. Have you heard of or seen a snake hissing? Why does it do that? It does it because it feels threatened. It is showing its anger towards you. It's feeling very threatened. It's feeling unsafe. It's feeling that you're going to do something to it. It's because it can sense the vibrations of hatred, of your own fear, which is getting projected. And animals are very sensitive to the fear of others. They can pick up these vibrations of fear. So when you have the fear, then the snake feels that this person is going to do something to me, because it is this person is so afraid that he might even kill me just because he's so afraid. So then it uses anger as a defense mechanism, that anger, that hissing. So what does it do? It makes you feel that the anger makes you aware of your threats. It makes you aware of the unsafe feelings. It makes you aware of that hurt, which is coming again when something is getting triggered in the outside situations. So that's the role of anger actually. But what happens is, because of unawareness, we get carried away with that anger and we go deeper and deeper, and then we go into something which eventually becomes very destructive. Whereas we can use it for what it is meant to be, which is to keep you safe, to keep you from getting hurt, and to keep you safe from everything else and not feel threatened. So now you can go into that. When you've done all this, you're with your body awareness, you're with your breath awareness, you will actually begin to feel the inner connectivity to your subconscious, and you can actually make a connection to what is that deep inner feeling, that unmet need that you have. Like we gave the example of the need to be heard, there could be the need to be loved, the need to be taken care of. So many kinds of needs, and these needs, something is not being met, and it's been continuously like that. You're in that state, and that is causing this anger when anytime that situation comes. So go into that. So what do you do when you actually connect to what that need is? So you then go still deeper. There is what brought that unmet need within you? What makes you to feel that there is some need that you yourself can't fulfill for yourself? Because somewhere you started believing that others can fill your needs. And this is the biggest mistake that we all make. We think that others can make us happy, that others can make us feel strong and confident, but we don't connect to our own inner power and potential to feel good and to feel happy and to feel loved. And that makes us to continuously stay in this void where we're expecting something from outside to come and fill that void, and that becomes the unmet need, and this unmet need starts causing this bouts of anger that we keep getting all the time. So what is the way? Are you going to ask someone to come and fill this need for you? No. first you need to connect to where this belief came from. This belief could have come from your childhood, and in your meditations, you could find that it could have come from some past life experiences. But wherever it is there in your subconscious, it is part of your belief system. And it's because of this belief system that you have developed a belief that there is this need which is not being fulfilled, which you're not able to do for yourself because you don't know that that you can actually do this for yourself. So then we go to once you find the belief and you have tracked the belief, then you go deeper, still deeper, and at that stage, you will then find that you are going to surrender to your own highest potential, which is your overself, to your soul, which is pure love, which is pure compassion, which is 100% all powerful. And there you are going to start developing these qualities of self acceptance, self worth, and self love. And when you do that, before that, you would have changed the belief because you would have identified this belief. Then you would have changed the belief. And once you change the belief, then you have to fill that need not with the help of anyone else, not with anyone else going to do something for you, but with your own connecting to your own full potential and power. You start filling that need. First, you need to accept yourself, feel worthy of yourself, and to love yourself. And when you start doing this, you begin to erase completely that need. That need becomes filled. The need creates what we call as a void within you. Every need is an emptiness, and that emptiness is a void, and that can only be filled with self acceptance, self worth, and self love. And friends, so these are the 7 steps that you need to follow in order to be able to transmute your anger and to go to the root of it and then bring about deep and lasting transformation in the way you deal with your own inner anger. I'll just go through these 7 once again so that you again have the clear picture of how you need to do this. First, recognize the trigger, whatever is making you angry. 2, remove yourself from that situation. 3, shift your awareness to the body. 4, you shift your focus completely, your awareness now to the breath. So the body awareness remains, but now your total awareness starts going towards the breath, and that leads you into the deeper aspects of your subconscious. There you can recognize what is that unmet need which is actually causing which is actually causing you to become angry, because it is always keeping you in that state of feeling threatened and unsafe and the fear of getting hurt. And that defense of that is what we call as anger. Anger is nothing but your response trying to defend you against getting hurt, trying to defend you against threats that you feel, defending yourself against feelings of being unsafe. And then you connect to the deeper belief which has caused this need, this unmet need. And once you connect to the belief, you can change the belief. And how do you change the belief? Because you know now that the truth is that you have everything, you have the complete power and potential, and you start filling it with self love, self acceptance, self worth. And as you do this more and more, this is not like a 1 minute journey, friends. It takes some time, but with continuous sadhana and practice, you will be able to move and transmute this wonderful and powerful emotion which we call anger into something which is actually going to bring about the changes that you wish to manifest in your life. And when you do this, you are actually going to manifest the changes, because whatever is the unmet need that you have, once you start working on that, then you will actually achieve what you really wish to achieve in life, because that is the thing which is preventing you from reaching to your full potential. So it's not just about, you are angry and now you're no longer angry. It's directly linked to your self actualization. To really manifest what you wish to do, the larger purpose of your life is linked to overcoming this anger, to transmuting this anger, and bringing about those changes that are pointed by that anger. So that way, it's a very wonderful and powerful tool. Now, after this, I'm going to share some tools for transmutation of anger. Okay, there are many, but I'm going to just share a few tools which are wonderful tools for helping you to transmute anger into something which is more positive. Okay, so we start with first the at the physical level. So the first is releasing anger physically. So you must have heard about things like punching bags, punching pillows, and this squeezing some balls, and stress relief things where you just use a lot of physical energy, release a lot of physical energy. Vigorous exercise can also do the work. Hatha yoga practice also can help. So this at the physical level, it gets off some of that excess energy which helps to reduce your level of anger. So that's one at the very basic level. At the next level, we have expressing anger creatively. You start doing drawings, paintings, clay work, gardening, those kind of things which are more creative, and that also can help you to let go of some of your anger. Then we have journaling. You just start writing down your thoughts and feelings. And here, friends, you need to be brutally, I use the word brutally honest. Completely, don't try to fool yourself. If you have some thought coming up, and you say, oh, this doesn't look like a nice thought to put down on paper, then you're not going to really achieve much with your journaling. Just be completely brutally honest and write down whatever flows from within you. Do this journaling. Also use this practice which is called as non-dominant handwriting. So if you're a right hander, you start writing with the left hand and allow your thoughts to flow out through the left hand. Writing may be a little difficult, but it connects directly. Your non-dominant hand connects to your right brain, which actually connects to your intuitive and higher self. Whereas your dominant hand will connect to your left brain, which is your logical and analytical self. So, there it brings about more from deep within your subconscious. So, that is journaling, which is another wonderful thing. Then you use body dialogue. You communicate with the body and ask your body, where is this anger coming from? What is the root of this anger? And your body never lies. It will tell you. So, develop this dialogue with your body. And then you use this process, which is a wonderful process called voice dialogue. You put yourself in a different role. Now, in one, you are that angry person, and then you are just like venting out your feelings and everything. And then you also play the role of the other balanced person who is within you, another personality who is listening to this person who is talking. And then you have this dialogue, and as you do this dialogue more and more, you'll find a lot of amazing insights start coming up. Then you use breath work. You use the power of breath, connecting to the breath and breath awareness to go still deeper into this is another very powerful tool. And friends, last but not the least, meditation. And why do you think I said meditation has been listed at the last number? Because, friends, when you are in a very, very angry state, you sit down immediately and you want to try and meditate. It becomes difficult. It's not easy. Okay? Maybe 1 out of 100 times from a state of extreme anger, you can sit down and start meditating. But most of the times, more often than not, you'll not be able to do it. So that's why we have so many other tools. So, first, release it at the body level with processes such as physically punching bags, punching pillows, vigorous exercise, jogging, cycling, whatever you want to do to release that excess energy, that excess of energy which is propelling or fueling the anger. And then you have expressing creatively, drawing, painting, clay work, or any of these other creative pursuits. journaling, and then you're slowly shifting from body awareness to mind awareness to your higher self, directly going as you connect with your breath deeper into your soul awareness. And as you do this, you're getting more and more connected to what is happening within you. And then you use processes such as voice dialogue, and then ultimately breath work, and we have meditation. So the more you practice meditation, the more you'll be able to connect to your inner, deeper aspects and connect to the root cause of not just anger, but every other thing that requires answers, every other thing that requires change from within you. So, friends, this is this simple, small presentation that I put together to help you to understand more about anger, how to manage anger. So, please visit our website qluglobal.org, and thank you for being with me. And now I'm going to open up to some questions. You can post them on the chat window and I will answer them verbally. And after a few minutes of this, we will then go into, um, you can take maybe a 3 minute break and we can be back after 3 minutes. We'll do the questions. And after that, we're going to have a 20-25 minute meditation, and once again, after that, we'll have sharing of the meditation experiences before we close for today's class. So thank you, friends. So let's be back in exactly 3 minutes, 5:56. So let's give another 2 minutes for our friends to join back. Then I'll start answering some of the questions that people have asked, because so that everyone can get them. Another 1 minute, we can all be back. Okay, friends. So there's one question which says, if we are cheated by someone, then how to excuse that person? So here you have to first acknowledge that you are the creator of that experience. You consider that as having been cheated, but that is your created experience. So use your awareness tools to understand where this has come from. What belief system deep within you has created that experience in your life? Understand that belief is what is creating that kind of an experience. Just forgiving that person or excusing that person is not a solution, because you are not dealing with that inner belief which is creating that kind of experience. Because forgiveness without the deeper understanding, actually, it really can't happen. Because you will simply say that, yeah, okay, I'm forgiving this person, as if you are someone superior, as if you're saying, okay, that person has made the mistake and I'm not the one, and it is that person who has actually created this whole problem. But then you're not acknowledging the fact that you are the creator of that whole situation, because everything that happens in your life, you are the one who is creating that. So you are taking on automatically the role of a victim rather than the role of a creator when you say that person is the one who is responsible for what has happened. So when you go deep, then you will find the reason, and when you change that belief, then you will not only be able to excuse that person completely, but you will also be able to see that in future you will not attract similar situations. How to clear, yes, the next thing is how to clear subconscious beliefs from the root, which is you need to go layer by layer, going deeper. And usually going through your emotions to your beliefs is a very easy and wonderful process. First become aware of your emotions, and then see what is the thought which is beneath that emotion. So when you go in that manner, it becomes easier to track the belief system which is there, which is the root cause of the problem. So thank you for asking. Any other question before we go to the guided meditation? So, okay, friends, so let's get ready to, we will anyway have one more round of sharing and questions after the meditation. So, let's be calm. Okay, there's one question which I'll just take, which is from Mr. Shrikant Nayak. So, does the food we eat affect our anger? Uh, yes, food does affect, but that's, I would say, a more superficial layer, at a more superficial layer. Like if there is already some disturbance inside, then it can make it worse, but it cannot be the cause of that disturbance. Okay, so there is something which is deep within, within your thoughts itself, which is creating the anger. And the food, if it is of a more tamasic nature or rajasic nature, then it can actually increase that anger even more. But it's not something which can by itself create the anger. So, but it is good to have more sattvic food, because automatically the anger levels will be reduced. Okay, there's another question which says, what do we do when we are at the receiving end of anger? Okay, so just as through the awareness practice, you are saying that I'm going to remove myself from this situation. When you're at the receiving end, also, you have the choice of removing yourself from that situation. Again, it's not easy, it needs some awareness, and a lot of deconditioning has to happen, because here also we are conditioned to say that I must stand there, I must stay there, and I must listen. It looks rude if I just walk away, but it doesn't matter. What is important is that you make a choice whether I want to continue to keep getting this anger or not. And once you make the choice, you can remove yourself from that situation. Thank you for asking. Now let's begin meditation. Take off your specs if you have any, that is. Close your eyes, clasp your hands, interlock your fingers. If you're sitting in a chair, sit cross-legged at your ankles with your ankles crossed and your feet touching the floor. And if you're sitting on the floor, you can sit cross-legged on the floor comfortably. Comfort is the key. Don't take any rigid posture which makes your body to feel uncomfortable. And slowly begin to observe your breath. Just breathe normally. No need to breathe fast. No need to breathe slow. No need to hold your breath. Just your normal, peaceful, tranquil, calm breath. Bring your total awareness to the breath. Notice how your breath is coming in and how it's going out. At this point of time, you have nothing to do, nowhere to go. Just be with your breath. Notice your breath. Watch your breath. Observe your breath. Be a witness of your breath. There is just you and your breath. Nothing else exists for you in this moment. If you get any thoughts, just say to yourself that at this point of time, my only work is to observe my breath, to be with my breath, to witness my breath, to stay with the complete awareness of my breath. Again, if you're getting thoughts, just think of yourself as a guard standing at the entrance of your house, waiting to catch any thief who tries to enter your house. Your thoughts are like thieves which are trying to enter into your mind, and your awareness is the guard which prevents these thoughts from entering into you. So stay with that awareness, and as you observe your breath, you are completely with that awareness. Meditation takes you beyond your body awareness, beyond your mind awareness, beyond your emotional awareness, into soul awareness, into the awareness of your true essence. Meditation makes you self aware, aware of yourself. Meditation is an inner journey into the depths of your being. Meditation is a journey into the vastness of your being. Your breath is like the key that connects you to the source, to the source of all there is. Another 10 minutes. Just completely be with your breath. This simplest form of meditation is also the most effective form of meditation. Anapanasati. Ana means in breath in Pali language. Apana means out breath, and sati means to be with. Anapanasati means to be with your in breath and out breath. And when you are with your breath, your mind becomes emptier and emptier. The thoughts become lesser and lesser. You become calmer and calmer. And as your mind becomes more and more empty, cosmic energy begins to enter into your being. And as more and more cosmic energy begins to enter into your being, you begin to have many divine, non physical experiences. Third eye experiences, astral travel experiences, different kinds of inner journey experiences. You begin to connect to your inner self, your inner being, your higher self. You might be able to experience time travel, going into the past, going into the future. Another 5 minutes. Just be with your breath. Experience that deep stillness. It has been said, be still and know thyself. Stillness is not just about stillness of the body. Keep your body still, your emotions still, your thoughts still. And every now and then, your five physical senses will try to call your attention. Give these five senses some rest when you meditate. Just allow them to be completely at rest and shift your complete awareness inside. It's as if even if there are sounds, you can't hear them. None of your physical senses are being perceived by you now. It's not that they don't exist, but you have shifted your awareness away from them. It is like when you are driving a car, either you can stay completely focused on the road or you can allow your eyes to wander on either side of the road to see what is happening there. Here you choose to have your complete awareness only on the breath. And shift your awareness away from your five physical senses. And that's when your inner journey begins. Another 2 minutes. Just completely be with the breath. And whatever is happening in this inner journey, just be an observer. Don't start thinking about what is happening. Just observe. Last 1 minute. 30 seconds more. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Now you can rub your palms, gently place your fingers on your eyes, and then slowly open your eyes. Welcome back, friends. Would anyone like to share their experience or ask any other questions related to the presentation or the meditation that we just did? Thank you. Any experience or any other questions? Did any one of you use this meditation to connect with your anger issues if you have any? And if so, would you like to share that? Thank you, friends. And you can find more information on our website, and please explore our YouTube channel. We have hundreds of videos and meditations, guided meditations, and many other videos which are there on YouTube. And you can explore that. And we have this wonderful series. I don't know whether some of you might have already attended it. We had these 40 days meditation classes, which are called the Wake Up Call series. These are available on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/QLU Global. QLU Global is the name of our YouTube channel. And in that, we have this 40-day Wake Up Call series of meditation classes, 40 meditation classes. So those of you who have not attended can attend one class a day. Yes. Yes, Vaishali Pathak says pain in both the hands. Can you tell me more about this pain? Was it during the meditation or is it still there? Okay, the pain is still there. And did you try to communicate with the pain while you were doing the meditation, as I had told? Okay, It was there only during the meditation. Now you don't have that pain. Do you still have that pain now? No. Okay. Yeah. So there is something that during the meditation, that pain was trying to tell you something. That's one aspect of it. And the other aspect is that there are certain blocks which are getting cleared due to the flow of cosmic energy during the meditation. So just continue the process and you will either get some insights, the pain will lead you into something deeper. And since we started this meditation about the classes about anger, I presume that it is trying to tell you something about certain anger issues that you have, and you continue to do these meditations, and you will be able to reach to the core of this, the root cause of the anger issues. And it also brings about a lot of healing for you. Thank you for sharing. Sorry, I didn't get this. Mr. Chandrasekhar, what exactly were you trying to ask? So, okay, friends, we will connect again. Every week we have these meditation classes, but please explore our website, which keeps giving you information about our programs. And we have also started a channel on Telegram. So you can find it. It's called QLU and Life Foundation. The and symbol, it's called QLU and Life Foundation. That's the name of the channel. You can search for it. And once you find it, you can join the channel. The best thing about a Telegram channel is that you have complete privacy and you will only see the messages that are posted by the admins of the channel, which is from Quantum Life University. And you will not be able to, it's not like a group where you will continuously keep getting so many messages. Just only the messages sent by the admins of Quantum Life University will be received by you in the channel. So please, if you're already on Telegram, it helps to join the Telegram channel because it's a much easier and convenient way of communicating all the posts and information about the programs. So thank you very much and namaste. Thank you for joining this class and goodbye until next time we meet again. Thank you. Bye.